Hi, welcome to the live stream. Yes, I'm going to be, as usual, channeling Archangel Raphael and giving messages. Maybe doing clearing as well, and talking briefly about the week ahead. And just before we start, for those of you who don't know, this week on Wednesday we did a group. It was a special group for 1.5 hours on understanding dark energies, with lots of different clearings for different types of dark energies that can get in. So, if anyone who wasn't on that group would like to have the recording of that, if you just go to the gen.net site and just give a donation of your choice, you'll be sent a link for that. It was done on YouTube live. Um, and anyone looking for one-to-one sessions with Raphael, on the Archangel Raphael site, there's sessions. There's sessions actually for this week, I'll be putting slots up for the next, 3 weeks, basically. I'm just going to let Archangel Raphael come in and speak through me. Hmm, hmm. I would like you to know that what I am actually seeing generally is that there is a lot of energy around, a lot that is clearing. But because of this, it is not necessarily about needing to generate energy. It is not so important whether you are doing things which create energy, because there is so much energy around generally in life. And what I mean by this is that generally there is much more life force, there is much more energy that people have access to. And that is because a lot has been cleared away already. So people have already gone really deep. A lot of people have actually gone into the depths of their trauma already. And what they are doing now is clearing the residues left. So, for this reason, generally, it is not really the time in life where you need to do lots to create energy. You don't have to be doing practices that generate a lot of life force. For example, chanting for long periods of time or doing other type of activities. It is much more time to ground, assimilate the energies which are actually working through you, which are actually then able to automatically elevate you to a new level in life. I will also say that no one is really asking you to stay connected to everything you have been connected to. It really is a time of letting go, but also embracing new things, a mixture of both. And sometimes when you feel inside that perhaps life is not really giving you what you need, it is a sign that something new is ready to enter, that you are in some way or another ready for a new experience. So, what I will say is don't be afraid of letting go, but also don't be afraid of letting new things in, because it is not a time where you need to necessarily isolate yourselves. But at the same time, it is not a time you need to force yourself to be a part of life. If in this moment you are not really feeling it, it is a time to just be yourself, really stay connected to what feels good in each and every moment. And don't worry as well about each other, because there is so much energy in the world that if you are not able to do something, someone else will. So it is really okay at times to just let go. And I am speaking to all of you here, even those of you who are perhaps involved in things that do require urgent attention on your part. It may be that you can let go for a while and someone else can take over. There are many of you here who are very strongly participating in helping others to change their lives, create something better for themselves. And what I will say to all of you is remember that you are part of the equation, but not all of it. That no one in this day and age will need to be everything for someone. So if you are a therapist, a healer, it is not for you to take on everything. It is to do your bit, and then other people will do their bit. And if your bit is perhaps not enough to change something for someone, then it is most likely that the person needs something else from someone else. But it is about doing what you do really well, really perfecting your own skills, but don't expect too much from yourselves. You really don't have to be everything for people. I hope I am making sense. And it is really good actually to focus on going deep inside, perfecting your craft, and then allowing others to step in when it comes to other parts, things that they have perfected. And together you make a team. And this is what humanity is moving towards. It is moving away from actually separation, consciousness, believing that you are going to have to be something, someone who provides everything for whatever you are in charge of. Whether that is your family, your home environment, whether that is your work, whether it is even your relationships with people, it is for you to play your part. And if people have parts which are missing, so for example, if you are a friend to someone and they need more support, then what you can do is help the person to create more support. Perhaps help them through what you know, or direct them to the right people who can help them to do this. But it is not for you to try to replace what they don't have. I hope I'm making sense. So, this is very much what the New Age is about. It is about actually letting go of trying to do too much, stepping into what you are here to do, allowing the rest to be filled in by the rest of life. It is about everyone playing their part to the fullest extent. It is about empowering people to do their life work, to do what they are here to do. It is about helping each other to rise up. But most of all, it is about really being able to let go as well, to really go deep into the energy of relaxation, deeply embody your true self. And in this new age, relaxation is just as important as doing. It is really going to become more and more important over time. And it is that all of you actually need deeper levels of internal rest, a type of rest actually that is beyond simply having time. It is actually the type of rest where the whole of your body and being is in one way or another zero pointing itself, really going back to neutral, going back to what it should be, always has been on one level. And when you do this, you are deeply restoring yourselves. And for some of you here, you already know all of this. You are already doing it. For some of you, you are even able to go to places so that you can be in this place within, so you can be in this frequency energy. Some of you are actually practicing medicine that uses this, uses zero pointing in some way or another. But what I will say is that this is really important. And as you do this, your capacity to cope with life increases exponentially. So this is what I'm seeing generally is the flavor of the day. It is about having the right balance between rest, serving your purpose, getting really precise about it, letting go of what no longer serves you, helping people to create the lives that they need in order to go forwards in a way which is light-hearted. It is about empowering each other. It is about encouraging each other. It is about rising up together and also having the awareness that as you empower others, you yourself are further empowered. And those of you who empower people the most will find that you will quickly gain more personal power yourselves. I have more messages to give. I would like to share that at the moment there is quite a large distance between certain people, different groups of people. So some people are very aware, awake, in touch with the oneness, and other people are lagging far behind. And there are some people who are just really even unable to meet their basic needs on a very primordial, physical, tangible level. And for these people, it is about actually being met by those of you who feel that you have already got what you need on this level. So, what I will say is for those of you who feel this way inclined, it is really important to help those in dire need. It is important to be able to actually meet those who really perhaps are struggling even to make ends meet, perhaps have not got enough food on the table, perhaps are living in war torn areas, perhaps have devastating circumstances that they are living in. But it is not about ignoring this, that the new age is about embracing all of life. It is not about simply staying on a certain frequency and believing that this is the place to be, and that by ignoring what is going on around you, you are able to simply be in a state of grace and bliss. It is about actually expanding your ability to embrace life. So, the more that you go inwards, the more that you clear, the more you zero point yourself, so to speak, the more capacity you have to embrace life, the more you are able to participate, and the more that you are able to actually be of service, but in a light-hearted way, without taking on the heaviness of a situation. You are able to come in and bring something of value, whether it is something very physical, something tangible, such as literally providing food or resources in some material way, or whether it is in some other way by helping to restore hope and a sense that life is going to get better. But what I will say is that it is important to recognize that ultimately the whole of life needs to be lifted up. It is not about simply staying in one part of life, finding your home there. It is about serving a purpose in terms of actually doing it in a way where you are able to expand your range more and more. And for some of you, your range will not be as wide as for others. So, for some of you here, you are literally able to meet the whole world. You are able to help all kinds of people. You are not limited to one type. But for others here, you do have a particular audience. You have particular groups you are here to help. So it is also important to honour your purpose, what you really feel inside, but at the same time, not to ignore the rest, to simply recognize that your purpose is not really going there, but to acknowledge that it exists, to acknowledge that it does need something in order for that part of life to be raised to a new level. I would like to speak about more things now. I would like to share that ultimately consciousness is about being able to actually change something on a very deep level that enables you to recognize that ultimately everything is connected to each other. Everything is interconnected. So, what I'm really trying to say is that ultimately, the more that you grow in awareness, consciousness, the more that you see the connection between one thing and another. And as you start to see connections, you actually grow in your ability to understand life on deeper and deeper levels. And as you do this, you start to realize that in life, it is not really about needing to be in a state where you feel that things are out of control, where you feel that things just happen, because you really start to see how things are connected. You start to just understand how life works. You start to actually gain mastery of life, so to speak. And through this, you start to feel more empowered. You start to feel stronger. It builds your confidence. And also, ultimately, you are able to get to a state where you feel fearless because life is no longer such a big mystery. It is that you are understanding how things work. You understand things on a deeper level. You may not know everything, but you really do generally have a sense of how life works and what affects you and how things are able to keep going forwards. And for those of you who have really mastered this, you will get to a point where you start to find life quite easy, actually, like where you feel that you can actually make life very good for yourselves by going within, clearing what is necessary, embracing what is right for you, and so forth. And I am speaking on this because I would like you to know that this is actually where many of you are heading at the moment. And some of you I see are already here to some extent, where you really are in this place where generally life is okay. It goes forwards in a very smooth way. And when it doesn't, you generally have a sense of what is going on. You may have a sense that it is something coming in from your lineage or something else activated. And then you work on it, you clear it, and then life flows again for you. And those of you who are in this place, it is a very powerful place to be. You may not always recognize it yourself. You may just take it for granted that this is your life, that this is how it works. But it is not like this for everyone. That there are a lot of people in life who feel consistently frustrated, have no idea why certain things happen, feel confused, are in a state of anguish, despair, perhaps even have a sense that life is just not on their side, perhaps even wrongly believe that this is how life is meant to be. So, what I want you to know is when you are in this place, you are actually already far above others in terms of awareness, consciousness, understanding life. And when you realize that, you will see that you are able to be of service to many. So I am just saying this so those of you who are already there can recognize this. And those of you who are working on this recognize where you are heading. And it will be that in the near future, there will be actually many of you in this place. And there will be a certain level on the earth plane that is there for people to access when they are ready. And it will almost be like this level becomes the norm when it comes to going within personal development work. That there will be many of you on this level who are helping those of you who are not quite there to rise up to get there. And when the majority of people are there, there will then be a new level that will be there which will be the norm. And this is what I would like to mention as well, because beyond the level where you are able to have your life working well, where you are able to clear what is necessary, go forwards, be in touch with your purpose, generally for your life to work in all ways, there is another level, which is actually a level which is all about really being in a state of pure bliss, a state where you are connected at all times to the oneness, where there is a consistent flow of light through you, where you don't have to keep stopping and starting, where this flow has become consistent. And through this, you are then able to create a lot, make much bigger things happen. And when you are in this state, you find generally that life just works for you, that things happen in miraculous ways. And what will happen after that most people have got to a state where they feel empowered with their lives, feel that they know how to make their lives work, is that it will be that people will be ready to move to this new level. And there will be some of you, not all of you, but some of you who will be at this new level, who will be there to inspire people, to assist people to get there. And this new level is something actually that has not really been seen before on the earth plane, not in recent times anyway. It is not necessarily a level of high productivity. So it is not the same as those of you who are able to keep creating, keep doing things, keep going. It is a type of energy where the person is consistently in the light, and so they are consistently creating from a very high place, a very aligned frequency. And this type of frequency creates miracles. It makes incredible things happen. And the when the life on earth is at this level, when a few of you are even at this level, then it is possible for incredible things to happen. So I am saying this because I would like to let you know in advance that there are some of you here who are going to be examples for others, leading the way. And it is really good to be going within actually and recognizing this, recognizing the role you will play. Because for those of you who will be in this place, there are going to be enormous things that happen through you. It is good for you to know this. I would like to give a few more messages, and I would like to share that life at the moment is not really necessarily going so well for everybody. But that does not mean that this will not change, that something is in the process of turning around. But right now, the polarity of life is really showing up very strongly. And for those of you who are very sensitive to negative energy, you may feel overwhelmed at times by the level of suffering that you see in the world, by what is going on in the world. And what I would like to say to you is that it is important to be aware that this is life at the moment showing you polarity very clearly so that you can see that really there is a certain amount that is going on in the world that is very extreme, an energy that is very dark and dire. And as you acknowledge this, as you recognize this, it is like then this is automatically going to be corrected. So, as you, as a global community, recognize these sorts of energies instead of looking away, then answers automatically come through you in the flow of life. So sometimes it is enough to acknowledge something, to feel it and deeply acknowledge it, and then know the right answers will come at the right time through the right people. I would like to say one more thing, and that is there is always going to be a lot of negativity and hate that those of you who are trying to improve the world may potentially attract. So I would like you to know this, that this is always going to be the case. But remember that when you have a role in changing things for the better, it is important to attune yourself to the frequency on the earth plane of other change makers, people who will help you make changes, not the people who want to keep everything the same, or even the people who are part of the problem. Keep your attention on those who are change makers, those who want things to go in a direction that is in the light, those who want the same as you. And when you do this, you will not even notice the negative energy. You won't notice the hate, the negativity, and all the things that could potentially make you feel a bit low. So, this is just a reminder. It is something I have spoken about before, but I am reminding you because it is important at this time. I will just say one more thing, and that is nobody who hears these live streams is in any way disconnected from the oneness. You all have enough connection in you to be able to be in these frequencies, to be able to go deep, to understand what I am transmitting. And for this reason, I would like to remind you that it is really important to be connected to this part of yourself that is aligning to the oneness. It is really important because through this, the rest of your life becomes aligned as well. It is through this connection that you are able to ultimately find peace and happiness in all other areas. So, this connection you have to your internal God state, so to speak, is important. And remember that. What I will say is generally the week ahead will be a good one. There will be good news actually for some of you. For some of you, you may even find yourselves actually being more in the limelight, feeling more appreciated. For some of you here, you may find yourself feeling deeply nourished. And for some of you, you may even feel that perhaps the week is in some way or another life changing. So it is generally a positive week. That is all. Hmm. Yeah, so thank you everyone for listening. And yeah, wishing you all a really good weekend. And yeah, a really good, happy week ahead. And, much love to all of you.